So I started seeing this so often, I had to record a video about it. 90% of people give up on high-ticket sales or, pretty much any business right before they start seeing success. And I'm telling you this because most of the time it's not because you don't have a skill or because you don't have what it takes, but because you were never taught how to survive the hardest part of running any kind of business. If you ever read one of my favorite books, it's called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, then you've probably heard of this concept, which is called 90% wall, or you're just 3 feet away from gold concept. I think this is how it's called. But basically what it says is usually you're just 3 feet away from reaching your goal, from reaching this thing that you've been digging for so long. And usually we give up at this point because by that time we just feel fed up, like we've done so much but we're not seeing success. Others are seeing success but somehow we're not. So in this video I'll teach you exactly how to overcome this mental barrier, and I'll give you a list of 10 questions that you can ask whenever you're on a sales call. You just don't know what to do, you're feeling down, you're feeling brain fogged, and at this point you just don't know what works, and you just really want someone to give you like a framework or a list of questions that you can ask on a sales call to increase your chances of getting that sale. I'll give you this exact list at the end of the video. You'll be able to access it and just pull it out whenever you have a call and you just want to close that sale. But first, let me tell you why you're experiencing what you are experiencing. And when you're a new closer, you're gonna go through this emotional roller coaster because you're gonna see all of these successful people making so much progress, and you'll see those gurus claiming that they've been doing this for like 1 month and now they're at 10k, and you'll think, oh, why am I not there? Maybe I'm just not gifted. Well, that's not true. This actually leads me to my next point, which is mixed messaging online. So once again, you'll see gurus who say, well, this sales technique is cringe. They'll shame you for doing something as a beginner which you think is right. Do not listen. Like, I'm telling you, maybe what would be best is when you're starting your business, just delete social media completely. Just watch my content though. Focus on practicing, on learning, on studying, and this is how you just find success. Obviously, selling from the place of fear and despair, this is the worst thing they can do, because first, it kind of shows people that are on calls with you, they are gonna notice that there's something wrong, that you're being desperate, that you're being pushy. Then at the same time, once again, it blocks your ability to think. So when you're on a sales call, you're not gonna be able to analyze properly what people are telling you. Sometimes you'll hear this shitty advice, which is just talk to more people, you'll just practice. I know that it doesn't work, because when you talk to more people, you might just be making the same mistakes over and over again, but just with different people. So what do we even focus on instead? First, mastering bias psychology. For me, it was always the most fun part, because you just understand how humans are operating, and when you get on those calls, it just feels more of like a game. Oh my god, like whatever he's doing, I learned it as well, which I'm about to teach you in this video through the questions that you can ask. I'll explain all of it, so stick with me. Second is creating emotional safety net, which is super interesting. I'll teach you how to do it in a second, but essentially what it is, you're making a person feel comfortable on this call with you so they can share their actual pain points, their secrets, because when you think about it, for all of us, it's always hard to admit our pain points, what we're doing wrong, what we think we could change to, like, especially a stranger. To make them open up, we need to do these few things, and I'll remind you about them when we're going through the questions that you can ask. First of all, you need to slow down the pace. So don't try to rush, don't talk too fast, like make sure that everything that you say sinks in with the other person, shows more that you're confident and reliable. It doesn't really work for content because, people have short attention spans, so it's better when you talk faster. But when it's like a real conversation, you're on the call, then I would slow down the pace. Second is validate what they tell you, because they're gonna share something really personal probably, so you need to say, well, I totally understand why you're experiencing this, I would do the same in your situation, and yes, this makes a lot of sense to me. Third, ask deeper questions, and what I mean is, you don't just ask, does this make sense? Like, obviously they'll just say yes or no. Microphone off. It was an accident. Oh my. Anyways, one of our microphones died, so I had to switch to another one. When they give you one-worded response, it just means that they don't think about it much, so there's no commitment, not much trust built. What you can ask is questions like, how does this make you feel? What would you do in this case? Whatsoever. Remember, your purpose as a sales rep is to help the other person. Even if they're not gonna end up being your customers, if you build enough trust and rapport, maybe they'll come back and actually join your program eventually. Pitch will come naturally when you've identified all of the pain points, point and you realize, well, this is definitely what this person needs, which I will teach you how to do in a second with those questions. We're literally just right about to get into them. Okay, so I had to turn my microphone off so that I can share my screen and I don't have to hold it. 10 smart questions that turn warm leads into buyers. And you can use this cheat sheet whenever you're on the sales call and you feel like you need some support, you don't know what questions to ask, you're just stressed, you don't have a script whatsoever. I'm gonna tell you when to ask them, how to deliver them, what to listen for, and how to follow up. You're welcome. I'm not gonna go through all of these questions because you're gonna have the access to this checklist eventually. First of all, somewhere closer to the beginning of the call, when we're still collecting info, you might want to ask questions like, so what inspired you to book this call today? Why making a change now out of all times? I mean, they can make a change anytime. You know, you listen to what they have to say. For example, I want to quit now because it's spring, I'm feeling more energetic than ever, and I'm actually ready to take action. And then you will have to follow up. Like, I even gave you how to follow up because for me on sales calls, it was always the hardest thing. Like, people would give me answers and I would not know what to say back. So I decided to save you guys. So if they share a specific event or a feeling, you need to acknowledge it. So that sounds like it was a big moment for you. And then you gently explore more details. You can ask even more questions. For example, yeah, it was a big moment for you. So if we're selling like some weight loss program, why did you decide that this weight loss program was something that you needed? Why did you decide that you wanted to lose weight? Like, if they're unsure, we can just ask them, what are you looking to change about, you know, the issue that they have? So if they're unfit, what you're looking to change about being unfit as soon as possible. Oh, I actually love this question. So how do you feel about your current 9-to-5 job situation these days? Ask this a bit early in the call to kind of connect with their current reality and collect more info. So you might lower your voice a little when you ask how do you feel, to show that you're genuine, that you're like pensive, you're thinking about it. If they, for example, express dissatisfaction, you can say, well, what part of it do you dread the most? We're just trying to be like a friend. In a way, we're just trying to have this conversation. They tell us something, we ask them why do they feel this way. We ask them more questions, we just want to make them talk. At some point, sometimes I treat sales calls as if a little therapy session, even though never tell any close to this that I said this because they'll hate it. But essentially, this is pretty much it. Like, we just help them dig into their pain points and try to guide them to what exactly they need to do to escape that pain point. They have to be talking most of the time. We are here to ask questions and listen and be their friend who's out there for them. Next up, let's go in the middle. Once again, you'll be able to see all of these questions and use them for you. You can even copy this cheat sheet into your some kind of workspace and answer those questions, for example, with some ideal prospect in mind. Mid-call is going deep into their desires, fears, and motivations. We're basically switching from their current reality more into their desired reality. How will this change affect you on a personal level? Like more time with your family, financial freedom, personal fulfillment, or something else. And the intonation, you have to be sincere, thoughtful tone. It can help to lower your voice slightly and speak a bit slower here to show that you're thinking about the situation. Once again, you remember I told you to be a bit slower because once it shows confidence and that you're thinking, you're genuinely interested and invested in what they're telling you. Then we can obviously follow up with saying what could change in your life that would make you feel happy when you made this move. Once they join this program, when they lose weight, will this make them feel happy? Essentially what we're asking them. We can also share a quick relatable story, which I also love. So you can say, I spoke with someone recently who did this to be a role model for her kids. Does something like that ring true for you? So you can literally share a little story and say, oh, this person done that. And, you know, when other person hears about it, they think, oh, so this person, they joined this program and they love it. So maybe this is legit. Maybe I should do the same thing. This is called bandwagon effect. I actually talk a lot about it on my Instagram. So you might want to follow me on Instagram to hear more about this. Like, I post so many reels about this. Next up is, obviously we have these questions. Oh, these two, 7 and 8, they go more as a pair. So we're first asking them, what do you see as your biggest challenge in making this transition successfully? And then we're making them think even deeper, saying, if you could overcome that challenge, what would it mean for you personally? Like, so we're asking them for this challenge and then we're telling them, oh, imagine you overcome this challenge, like how good would life be? So we're making this emotional connection. And then closing stage, and actually, by the way, so these two stages, they're gonna take you maybe like half an hour in total. Like when you're on the sales call, I know that it sounds a bit scary right now and that, you know, it sounds like a lot of time, but when you're on a sales call, you're not even gonna notice it. I'm telling you, you're not gonna notice it. What went into my hair? Yeah, because it's gonna be really fast, you're gonna be interested, and it's gonna be fun. Like I'm telling you, at some point you're gonna think, oh my god, sales calls are really fun because it feels like I'm talking to a friend. You'll love it. And closing stage, obviously, it's actually my least favorite part, I don't know why, but I really love just talking to people. So I have two questions for you here, which is, oh, I like this one. Given everything we've covered, what do you feel is the best next step for you to get closer on your goals? It hands them the responsibility to articulate the next step, so ideally joining your program, and then from there, if they indicate they're interested to move forward, we're just saying, I agree, like I think this is perfect, this is a really great opportunity, so let's just do this, like some paperwork, sign this contract, get the payment through, and that's it. And I cannot wait for you to start using this kind of benefit that they talked about that they really want. Or if they say something else, we need to make the next steps clear. So if they, for example, say I'm not sure and they're really like not ready to make a decision right now, so we need to make this next step clear. So we need to schedule like a follow-up call, or if they need to talk to somebody else, we need to schedule a call with them and their person, because obviously sometimes people will need to talk to their spouse before making a really important decision. So we can make a follow-up call with both of them, like them and their spouse. This is pretty much it. So you're gonna be able to claim this cheat sheet. I'm super excited for it. Oh my god. Let's get into the next part. Ooh, you can access this cheat sheet for free. All you need to do is just go into the description of this video, click on the link which says my Instagram, so it's just go on my Instagram, or you can search me up yourself. It's copy.Daryna, it's over here, copy.Daryna, and DM me word call questions, 2 words, sorry. Call questions. This is all you have to DM me. Call questions. This is a combination so that it doesn't get messed up with my other automation and you'll get it straight up. Once again, just go to my Instagram, follow me. You'll love the content if you like this video because I post a lot about sales, and DM me call questions, and that's it. You'll know when to ask those questions, how to deliver them with the right tone, what to listen for, and how to follow up based on their answer. I wrote it all down for you. Anyways, once again, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. You can save it for later, maybe share it with your friends if you found it useful. Follow me for more because I'm trying to make at least one YouTube video every week about sales, and I'm gonna post a lot about this. So I'm super excited to keep sharing my knowledge, and thank you once again. Thank you so much. Maybe you want to check out some of these videos somewhere here. I don't know where I'm gonna put them. Yes, thank you, and hopefully I'll see you next video. And on my Reels Instagram, I post there a lot. Love you.